Cloud. All right, cool. I'm in business. So I'm going to start to share my screen. When you have to hop off, just hop off. What the heck? I'm getting messages. No big deal. Catch you when I catch you. And I'm probably not going to see anybody leave. So nobody, I'm not offended when people hop off and hop on, you know. So I'm going to share my screen now. Here we go. Audience window. It says showing up on social, and it's presented by me. My name's Aiko Smith. I'm a TMF graduate, class of 2021. Before I was a TMFer, I was in the IPP program. And before that, I was taking every single mindfulness class on campus as possible. I'm obsessed with the practice and with the teachers and with the community. It's great. And so a beautiful way to show what you're learning in your mindfulness practice and in the community. And if you are a TMF teacher, a mindfulness teacher or a coach or a therapist, your social media is kind of like your landing page now. A lot of people don't really go to your website. They'll go, what's your social media? Let me pull it up first. And so, you know, there's all different kinds of ways you could go about showing up on social. Like you can go full on where you hire people and you make it a business and you're making money from social. You could use it, like I said, just like a landing page, having some information up, your projects that you got going on, maybe some quotes or things that are important to you. It's really up to you how you choose to use social media or to not use it at all, you know? So this presentation is more about just getting the basics done. Everybody says we need social media. Okay, so let's create an Instagram, have the basic information up there. So people know who we are, what we do, and who we service. And that's really meaningful, just getting that foundational part. Oops, what am I doing here? Okay, so what are we talking about today? How to write a good Instagram bio, meaning, you know, right at the top of your profile, it's your introduction. Who are you? What do you do? Who do you service? We talk about also, this is all in the bio, your offers. You might be teaching classes, you might be a coach, you might have all different kinds of programs, or maybe you have a blog or whatever that is, whatever your offer is, you could have one link in your bio, a link to your website or like a link tree or a bit.ly that kind of houses all your different links that goes in your bio. We're going to talk a little bit about niche. This is not in your bio, but just in general, like we're all mindfulness teachers, but we all kind of have a niche, right? Mine is, I work with a lot of DEI practitioners, people in that space. I like to work with music now. I'm not a musician, but I'm a mindful listener. So I'm starting to work with mindfulness and music now. So a lot of my content is kind of directed in those areas. Who are you teaching? We don't really talk about it too much in this training, but while we're writing our posts and while we're writing or creating content for Instagram, we're kind of creating it for an avatar, right? Who are we talking to? What do we want to say to them? You can kind of think of a person that would come to your classes, and this kind of, we're speaking to that person. That's kind of how you find your voice on the platform. And then what to post. You could post images, quotes, reels, there's going live. There's a lot of things that you could do on Instagram. It's just not like posting pictures and then you're out of there. It's social media, right? So they want us to be social on there. And so there's lots of tools that allow us to do that. Followers, we talked about this the first time. We are not into vanity metrics here as the mindfulness teachers. We're into genuine, true, authentic connection with people that really want to know who we are, what we do, what we're talking about, and the way that you get genuine followers. We'll talk about that. How to use hashtag. and creating content in Canva, which we didn't have time to do in the first workshop. We did it in the second one. It's recorded, it was sent out along with the second workshop, so we skipped that part. This slide says your catchy bio here. We talked about what's in it, your handle versus your name. So your Instagram handle is the name that pops up when you are posting on other people's posts, or when you're commenting on other people's posts, when you're writing other people messages. Your handle is kind of what you're known by. Your Instagram page could be named something completely different. So there's two different things. My handle is Aiko Means Love. My Instagram page is, what is that called? I don't even know. Let me check. Sorry, y'all. Well, I just put Aiko Mindfulness Meditation Trainer and Speaker. So when you go, you can't really see my phone, but when you go to my page, you'll see the handles at the very top. It says Aiko Means Love in bold. And then underneath my profile picture is my my name, what my Instagram page name would be. So it says Aiko Meditation Teacher, Trainer, Speaker. So that's what I do, right? What do I do? I'm a speaker. I do training and workshops, and I teach meditation, right? That's what I do. It's in the bio. When anybody goes to your bio, they should know right away. Who are you? What do you do? Who do you work with? And if you want to be really fancy, you could write how you do it, right? Why you do it. But there's not too many characters in the bio. So you got to be really short and sweet. Boom, boom, boom. I'm going to go to this slide. On this slide, there are 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7 different Instagram pages, just examples of different meditation teachers and what their biographies look like and what their pages kind of look like. Everybody's is different. You can add your own style to it. There's, I think this is, I'm not sure what his name is, but I think his name, or I'm not really sure, but there's a teacher, Jaya John, I believe his name is, John Jaya, I'm not really sure. But he just has, you know, writing, no pictures, no videos. He's a beautiful writer. It's just words, and it's beautiful, and people love it and they share it. So it's not so much really what it looks like. You could see here, people really take time making their images colorful and matching and coordinated and all that stuff, and it looks great. But really, it's your content that's really going to capture people, what you're saying, and making sure that you're saying it or writing it, speaking it to the right person. That's really what's going to matter. We talked about this in your bio, having a link. So that could be your website, like we talked about, or it could be your link tree or your bit.ly. Your link tree is the same as a bit.ly, where it could house many different of your offerings. Your website could be there, your Calendly link, if somebody wants to come talk to you, they could schedule a call right there from there. Your Zoom link for your meditation class, your podcast that you were on, a blog that you wrote, a YouTube video that you created, all of those links could be held in one link. It's called a link tree or a bit.ly, and it's very convenient, and you could put that in your bio. This next slide says Instagram brand colors, brand fonts, visual flow. We talked about Instagram kind of being like a landing page for your business, for you as a teacher. So this is all you. You could be very creative. Your Instagram can match your website. If you had somebody create your website with certain brand colors and fonts, it'd be awesome if your website kind of matched your Instagram. You'll look really cohesive. You look neat. You look like you know what you're organized. You know what's going on, right? It's kind of a vanity thing, but you know, unless we're all going to be influencers, like that's what matters, right? Like I'm a professional. Here I am. Here's my Instagram, and you know what I do. You know who I am. And like I said, it could be super duper simple. There's Instagram accounts that are like have millions of followers, and they just have text, plain letters on white backgrounds, just beautiful quotes, bits and pieces of information, just created on a image in Canva and posted very simply. What matters is consistency. We'll talk about that in a little bit. Really content and consistency. This Instagram brand colors, brand fonts, visual flow, we go over a lot in the second workshop because we're in Canva. And if we're creating content, it's the easiest place to go. This slide says what to post. There's 4 things: images, pictures, still life pictures of it, depending on who you are and what you're selling, right? Or what you want to promote. Say that I'm a dietitian, right? A lot of my images will be of food, healthy foods, salads, you know, meals that I've created, ingredients, me at the grocery store, me at the farmer's market, me doing anything that has to do with food and health and whatever. Those would be the images, right? Quotes. If I was a dietitian, I would obviously be this anti-diet culture kind of dietitian, right? Where I'm like body positive and all of those beautiful, lovely things that we're encouraging people to be right now. So I would have quotes about healthy food, real food is food, any food, just be mindful when you're eat. Just, you know, these are the quotes, right? And you could find quotes, mindfulness quotes. I know that you guys have a lot of them just stored in your mind already, beautiful ones that are very profound and meaningful to you. Those are the kinds of things that you could share on Instagram that people will find, they will resonate with it, and they'll look at you as a guide, as a teacher, as someone that they can come to when they're feeling down or they're confused. They'll say, oh, I want to go to Jeff's page. He always says the right things, right? And he makes me feel good. And I like to share his stuff. So we have images, quotes, right? Another thing that you could post are reels. And so on Instagram now, everything is a reel. So if you are just right here, me talking to camera about mindfulness is paying attention on purpose, with openness, curiosity, and a willingness to be with what is. You could practice it sitting down, standing up, doing dishes, doing laundry, blah, 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 right? I'm talking to camera. That is a reel. Anything that's a video is a reel now on Instagram. That's what it's called. They're not like post your video. Everything's a reel. So your reels could be very simple. It could just be, like I said, talking to camera, which is what I do. Like, I'm not a homegirl that's like over there, like break dancing and like doing all this stuff and like pointing to words and like, great if you're into that. I just like cannot. There's like something in me that's like this resistance. Like, I'm not dancing around over here. Actually, I kind of did dance around a little bit today, but not on a reel. But yeah, just not my thing, right? So whatever it is for you, have fun on there. And there's all different kinds of ways to make these reels, right? Like I said, you could be talking to camera, you could be doing a dance. There's music that you could put to video. There's music that you could put to images. There's templates on reels. So you could choose a song, and then it will give you 5 empty boxes to put pictures in, or little clips of a video in, and it will kind of like generate this reel for you. So it's very kind of user friendly. Once we start kind of fiddling around with it, it's easy to get. It just looks really overwhelming because there's all of these things: images, quotes, reels, going live. It's a lot. But once you say, okay, I'm going to be making 5 reels this week, 5 videos, and you start, you know, you are playing around with the functions a little bit. you'll soon see that it's pretty user friendly. And if you are paying someone to create this content for you, it's actually would be easy for them too. If they had your images, your quotes, things that you wanted to say, they would be able to make a reel pretty fairly easily too. All of your content. As long as you have something to say, you have it written down, you could do this yourself, or you could pay, you could go on, is it Fiverr, Upwork? There's all of these places where you could get people, social media market managers, pay someone $100 a week to post your stuff for you, make your stuff for you. And if you can, I suggest that you do it yourself, just so you know what you like, what you don't like, what your vibe is, all the things. The fourth thing that you could do on Instagram is going live. So going live, I'm sorry, you can hear my kids in the background, which I was like, be quiet, I'm teaching, they don't care. Going live on Instagram is just like what it means. Like right now, I could go live and be broadcasting to, my account is public, so I could be broadcasting to anybody that's on Instagram right now. And people, at the top of your Instagram profile, there are little bubbles of people that follow you or that you follow. And so when you're going live, your circle will be highlighted a different color. So people know, oh, this person's live right now, and they could tune into what you're saying. So like I said, you could use Instagram very creatively. You don't even need to post images, quotes, reels. You could just go live every day, right? I just have a lesson. I just have something to say. I'm going to go live. Instagram will record it, and then it will get posted onto your story or onto your feed, which is the facing part of your Instagram. When you open your Instagram, your feed is what you see. That's my kid. This is what they call the feed. All of this is your feed, right? Just when you open your Instagram, you'll be able to see all the posts that you made. So if you go live and you're just doing that, every single one of the squares will just be videos of you talking live. And that's great too, because it's not really, it's great if it looks great, but what you're saying and who you're saying it to matters the most. We all have very important things to say to certain people. Not everybody's going to hear what you say. Might not resonate with them, but there's somebody that needs to hear your message. And whichever way that you choose to communicate it, that's up to you, So think about your audience. Think about how, or that avatar that we talked about, how they use social media, if they use social media. And if they were to go on Instagram, what would resonate with them? A live, a quote, a picture, there's all different kinds of things. So it's a very creative process here. So this slide, there's one box that says stories and another box that says highlights. This box over here to the left says stories. It's a picture of Jack Cornfield, his profile. It says that he has 1,008 posts. He has 254,000 followers, and he's following 527 people. His profile picture, this circle around his profile picture is highlighted in a different color. It's pink. That's how you know. If we were to click on his profile picture, you would see his stories. So his stories are not going to be shown on his feed. That when you open up Instagram, you see the wall, the feed, it wouldn't be there. It's kind of like its stories they disappear within 24 hours. So you could post, things that are not very important to you, that maybe you have some information. Before this class started, I went on my stories. I said, hey, class starts at 6 o'clock. Hope to see you there. Boom. I don't need that on my feed, right? It doesn't need to be there forever. So you kind of have to differentiate, like, do I care about this being here forever or do I not? My morning breakfast that I'm taking a picture of because it looks beautiful and it tastes good and it was nourishing, that maybe doesn't need to be on your feed unless you're like a mindful eating teacher or something, right? Like that's something that you can let go away in your stories. And your stories are all archived, by the way. Jojo, can you stop with that chair? Sorry. Your stories are all archived. So whatever you share on your stories, it's Instagram saves all of that. There's a section, I can't show you right now, but there's a way to get to it. You go to settings, you go to stories, you go to archive, and it will all be there from the beginning of your Instagram journey. So it's not like they're lost, but they go away after 24 hours to the people that are following you. This other box says highlights. Underneath your bio, it's the same bio, right? Jack Kornfield. He is an American Buddhist teacher and founder of Spirit Rock Meditation Center, right? That's who he is. That's what he does. That's where he does it. Simple, right? Super simple, we know. And then look, he has a bit.ly. That one website, that one link, if you were to click his bit.ly, I'm sure it would be course offerings at Spirit Rock, maybe some podcasts that he was on, his books, I don't know, whatever and whatever, right? So the highlights, which are underneath the bio, it says following and messages. And then underneath that, there's a bunch of circles. Underneath here, where it says his first highlight is podcasts. So when you post on the story, you could save your story to your highlight, right? So he has a podcast. He's a guest on a lot of podcasts. So let's say that he was a guest on Brene Brown's podcast and he wanted to post it to his stories. He would do that, right? And it would be gone in 24 hours. But if he wanted to collect every single podcast that he was on to put it on a highlight, then he would save it as a highlight, his story. And then you could categorize it as podcasts and it would go over here to the podcast section. He has another section, a highlight that says Trudy and Jack. That's his wife. He loves her very much. She's the sweetest little woman on earth, right? Who wouldn't love her? And so I'm sure if you click that highlight, it would just be pictures of them being in love, teaching together, their travels, lessons, all of the things. If you wanted to see highlights, that's what they are, of Trudy and Jack, you would click there, see all of their adventures. Teacher training, they have a teacher training program there too. It's not as good as Mark, but they do. And so all that information is going to be, I think that's him and Tara Brock. They have information about their teacher training. Maybe they have posts of other people that have tagged them in their stories, which you could also share on your stories. So it's this kind of community, of folks. Here's another slide. It says stories, and this is just how to create a story. So it's just a step-by-step little process. So the first picture is my profile. And the second picture is after I click the bars on the top right-hand corner, or actually this little arrow plus sign on the right-hand top corner, this menu drops or pops up. It says create. Underneath create, it says reel, post, story highlight, live, guide, and fundraiser. You could create any of these things. I didn't talk about guide yet. And so what a guide is you could have all of your posts and save them under a guide. I remember I made one about gaslighting in the workplace and how to mindfully respond to being gaslit, something like that. Each one of my posts that were about that topic, I turned into a guide. right? And so there's a section that's a guide section, and you could just read everything that has to do with that. It's just a really neat way to kind of categorize your things. And live, we talked about that. It's what it means. I'm going live right now, real time. And I don't know if I said this in this workshop, but you could go live with other people, I think up to 4 people. So us 4 right now could go on Instagram and be having this conversation. People could be listening, drinking their wine, eating their dinner, just listening to us chat. And people like that too. We are all mindfulness teachers with our own things that we're teaching specific to our lives and our experience. When you find other people that are into the same things that you are, and you have beautiful conversations, I'm sure all of us do, about really meaningful things, people love listening. They just leave the Instagram on, listen to you guys chat while they do their dishes or do whatever. So it's a great way to build content, have some fun, build some community, get some people listening, and then you save it to your stories. It's there forever. We talked about story highlight. So it says create is the menu. Underneath it's reel, which is just a video. And then there's a lot of creativity and things that could happen with a reel. It could just be a talked camera. It could be a video with text and music. It could be multiple videos. You could blend them together. You could have transitions and music and all kinds of, editing stuff that's above my pay grade, but we could do it together if it was necessary, which we will, I'm sure. And then post. Post is just what is on your feed. It's either an image, a still quote, pretty much those 2 things. Story, but those top of your profile, when they click your profile picture, your story will come up. And that's just 24 hours of whatever you got going on that day, your offers, whatever. So that's the menu, the create menu. I wanted to create a story, right? So I clicked on story, and then this is what it looks like. It has basically my camera roll from my phone comes up. You would choose an image, and then this next, you would choose an image from your camera roll, and then this is what it would look like on your stories. It would be the image that you chose. I just took a picture of a painting on my wall. Underneath it says your stories or close friends. So what's cool about your stories is that you can blast your stories to everybody by just clicking your stories on the bottom left where your profile picture will be, or close friends. And you can make a list in Instagram of your close friends. So for me, lots of other mindfulness teachers. I hope that we could all be friends on there. And I'm showing you guys behind the scenes of my life, right? Or if I I don't really put my kids too much on my Instagram because it doesn't really have anything to do with them and I don't really care. But maybe I have a lot of close friends like you guys, right? And I want to show my kid did something funny. I want to show you guys. I click close friends. Only 50 of my friends are going to be able to see that picture. And so when you are on somebody's close friends list and they have an option and they share something just with you, their profile picture is going to be highlighted in green. And that's how you know, oh, they have a picture and it's just for a certain amount of people and me because it's green. Click on it, right? That's stories. So lots of things we could do in stories, lots of things we could do with reels. Your post is pretty much like a still image or a beautiful quote, a meme. Love memes, right? I want to talk about getting followers, which we're not super thirsty about, right? We're not well, maybe some of you are, but I wouldn't assume so, right? We're not into vanity metrics. We're not like Kim K. We don't need to have 10 billion followers. And we kind of don't want that, you want your followers to be people that are actually listening to you, learning from you, and that if you have an offer, they might be interested in it, right? They might want to go to one of your classes. They might want to go to a workshop. They might, if you have a drop-in meditation, I have one tomorrow morning at 7:15. I put it on Instagram, right? Hey, I'm doing this. If you want to come, DM me, I'll give you the link, right? Those people, I want people that are like, yeah, I want to learn how to do that. That's who I care about, right? And that's who you should care about too. We don't care about no Joe Schmo over here. If they're following you, we don't care. They're not going to give you any money. They're not going to read your things. They're not going to engage with you at all. And what Instagram really notices, the algorithm, is if people are engaging with your content and if you are engaging with other people's content. I think a lot of the times we forget that social media is social. That's what they want us to do. Sometimes we just like, not that into it. We just post and ghost, right? Post something and okay, bye. But really, if you were serious about building a community on there, that wouldn't be the way to do it. So you wouldn't just like show up in a room, right? All these people in there and you're like, I want to build community. And then you say, hey, and then walk out the door. Like everyone's like, who's that? What were they doing here? Right? Like you would need to say, hi, I'm Aiko. Nice to meet you. What's this about? Like, oh, I like what you're wearing over there. Or, you know what I mean? Like it's the same thing as we are like this, And so we don't really need to be shy. It's just social. We just need to be kind, just kind, just spreading kindness, another opportunity to like share your light, and what this practice really does for you, which makes you a kind person. You're genuine, you're authentic, you're loving, you're all of those things. And so it's beautiful. I hope all of us are on the platform. I hope we could change the narrative, shift the paradigm, right? Where we're not like feeding into more garbage and we're like really injecting this kindness that we have. It's like, for me, it's serious. Like I look at the world, social media especially, they're like freaking dumps, right? Like of just people being mean and rude and nasty and all of that. And it's beautiful that like people like us in our community are just like flowing in there with all of our goodness, like literally just spreading light, reducing the suffering, giving somebody just like a little, how it is. You read that one little nugget, someone tells you something and you might have heard it a million times and then it just hits right that one day. You're like, huh, shit makes sense now. And I feel good, you gotta feel that you're doing that for people, it helps you stay consistent. Like I know that I have like maybe, I don't know, 4,600 followers. It's not a lot, compared, but I know there's probably like 20 people that come to look at my stuff every day. And maybe they don't talk to me or reach out to me, but I could just tell that like the things that I'm saying, that I'm posting, they need to hear. And that's all, that's good enough for me. That's good enough for me. I feel like I'm doing my work, just sharing this little bit of mindfulness, this little bit of hope, brightness, whatever. So getting followers, I think this is a really kind of, it's not sneaky because we don't do sneaky. It's just faster, right? So what I would do after you got your bio done, right? Who I am, what do I do? Who do I teach, right? You got maybe 6 posts on there, just so people know that you're there, right? A picture of you, a story about you. Introduction post is a great post to make, Hi, my name's Aiko. I'm Black and Japanese. I grew up super poor. I had a really dysfunctional family. You don't have to do all that, but just like that's how I am. I just lay it all out there. Like this is who I am. But you don't have to get deep into who you are. But really, like, this is what I do. This is what I hope to do, blah, 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 intro post, right? And then just a couple of posts that shows, things that are important to you, quotes, whatever. And then go to a teacher or a profile, somebody that maybe is doing the same kind of thing as you. So for our purposes, it wouldn't be bad, right? If I went to, we're talking about Jack Cornfield, right? If I went to his profile and looked at all those 254,000 people that are following him, right? I already know they're into meditation, probably. Most likely, they're probably into meditation, right? So checking out who those people are, going to their profiles, maybe liking some of their pictures, just getting in their face, you know, and so they can come back to yours and see that they like what you got going on. Don't be afraid to follow people. Hey, I like this person's, I like what they're saying. I like their singing. I like their art. Follow them, make comments, write DMs, be social, you know, like this is great. This is beautiful. Like why, you know, we're on there, might as well spread kindness, right? And you're trying to build community. These are the folks, right? People that are already following teachers that you follow, right? If I'm doing mindfulness and music, I'm kind of taking this journey. Jeff knows my grandmother owned a blues bar, and I want to kind of mesh blues and mindfulness together, listening to blues mindfully. And so a good idea for me, I'm going to have these events where we're doing that, is to go follow some musicians, right? Like in the LA area. And you could do that, right? So you could go get followers, but like I said, going to your favorite teacher, looking at their followers, engaging with their followers, liking their things, making comments, cool, they'll follow you or not, whatever, doesn't matter, you know, like people that are for you are going to be for you. You know, we don't have to stress about that. Another thing that you could do is search just by location. Let me see if I have a picture of that. I don't think I do. I don't have a picture of it, but there is on top of the post, when you post, there's an area where you could add a location to your post. You could say where you are, or you could say that you could say like this picture was taken in Germany, right? And put like Germany, wherever you were in Germany. But if you were if you're in LA and you're working locally, you know, it wouldn't be bad to look at just location, who's near you, go to their profile, see what they're about. Maybe they're into meditation, maybe they're not, but just looking like how you would do anywhere. Where are my people, right? You could check by location. This is literally what we do in real life, right? Here I am. I'm in Las Vegas. I'm just going to look locally. Who are my people? Where are my friends at? I have friends here. Who are their friends? They'll probably like me too. We'll probably get along too. They're friends with my friends, right? So it's the same kind of thing. So we don't have to get caught up in like oh my gosh, the rigidity of it. You know, it's supposed to be fun. You know, another way of getting followers is working those hashtags. We didn't really talk. This is the next slide. Hashtags. So underneath a post that you write, I think that you have the ability to create hashtags, 30 of them, if I'm not mistaken. I'm pretty sure it's 30. It might be less now. But hashtags are anything that's relevant to what you're posting about, right? So I use maybe 10 or 15 hashtags, and they're pretty much the same every time. Hashtag mindfulness, hashtag meditation, hashtag wellness, hashtag DEI, because that's the space I work in, hashtag anxiety, hashtag depression, hashtag overwhelm, hashtag mama bear. What, you know, who are you working with? What hashtags are they using, right? If you're a quilter or, you know, whatever, you're a volleyball player, hashtag volleyball, hashtags sports. We'll do mindfulness and sports all the time. Hashtag yogi. I bet you a lot of yogis will want to follow you with your mindful, wise selves, right? So using that hashtag yogi, searching it for people that might resonate with you or your teachings, or just finding people that you think are smart and funny and are doing great things on the platform. People love hearing it. So don't be shy, reach out, use your hashtags, use the location, use anything and anything on the platform to find your people. The algorithm on Instagram really rewards people that are just active on there. So what I like to do after I post is I call it working my hashtags. So I'll post, let's say at 7 a.m. What did I post today? Okay. This is my post today. Where we feel we need more self-discipline are the exact areas where we need more self-compassion. Just a quote, just a regular quote on some background, right? In the captions of your posts, I call them little mini blogs, right? Expand on the image or the quote that you wrote, and they actually could be pretty long. I'm not sure how many characters, but you could pretty much write a mini blog under there, which is great, right? It's kind of been my routine to I consider myself a writer, to write in that way, to find a quote that I really love. And then whatever comes up for me, I'm just writing about it, writing how it applies to my life, and then posting that on Instagram, and more times than not, I have people that are like genuinely interested in what I have to say or going through the same things. And that's another way to build community, by your writing, right? Being authentic, being honest, being kind, telling stories. People love hearing stories. They resonate with them. And so in your caption, it could be long, short, you could keep a quote in your caption. It's very much up to you what goes on in there. For me, I like to do a little mini blog, very mini sometimes, and then my 10 or 15 hashtags. After I post my post, in session 2, we talk about auto posting and how I don't actually need to be on the platform every day. But when my post goes up, say it goes up at 7 a.m., I'll go on there and I'll work my hashtags, meaning I'll click on the first hashtag mindfulness. And there'll be a screen that shows people, top posts, recent posts. So that means the top posts are everyone that use the hashtag mindfulness that has the most activity, the most likes, the most comments. Those are going to be on your top posts. What I like to go for is your recent posts. So you click on a hashtag, click on hashtag mindfulness. It's going to say top posts, recent posts. I love to click on recent posts because that means everyone else in the world that's on Instagram at that moment that use that hashtag mindfulness is probably still on the platform, right? They just posted, they just used that hashtag. So they're going to show their post. So liking their post, comment on their post, move on to the next person. There's just going to be a list, a scroll, a whole list of people that use that hashtag mindfulness. So what I like to do, click on mindfulness, the hashtag, and then I just like everyone that used that hashtag mindfulness. If someone said something really cool, I go, oh, that's really cool. I love that. Great job. Great. Blah, blah. And then next hashtag. Now it's hashtag meditation, recent. Whoever just posted this hashtag meditation is still on the platform. It's recent. So I go onto that hashtag. I like everybody. 10 people. I like their posts. I like their posts. I like their posts. Ooh, they said something smart. That was really smart. Great job. And then like the post, like the post, like the post. And I'll do that for every one of my hashtags. It'll take like 10 minutes, really. 10, 15 minutes, give yourself that amount of time. Like, unfortunately, if you want to grow on the platform, you have to like grow it by like doing these kinds of things, you know, and you're finding your people. It takes a long time. It's like, and that's the way that you do it. And hopefully, like, let's keep the intention pure, right? I'm on Instagram because I want to find my community. I want my community to find me. So genuine interactions, genuine, you know, like, I think that, you know, there's not really like a skeezy, scuzzy way to use hashtags. You know what I mean? It's not like, oh, don't do that with hashtags. But there is a way that it can come off like, or I meant just like the way that you're interacting with other people could come off a little like skeezy and salesy, you know what I mean? Like, and we don't want that, right? Like, just be genuine. If like someone said something and it's unsmart, you're not like, that was the most genius thing I've ever heard. No, just nice effort, keep it going, right? So people could feel your energy behind what you're doing on the platform. So genuine responses to people, genuine likes, genuine comments. That's what's really going to grow your following. You know, people seeing that you're there every day, maybe not every day, but whatever it is. If you're like, I'm going to post 3 times a week. Let me see how many more slides do I have. Oh, we're not going to do Canva because we don't have enough time for that. I'll stop the share. So you say, you know, I'm going to post 3 times a week. I'm going to post on Monday morning, Wednesday morning, and Friday morning. Instagram will notice your consistency in that, right? And the point is for the algorithm to notice you and then favor you. So they like put you on more people's feed. So people could see you more, right? And that can only happen when we're consistent. And what does happen a lot for people that are on social is we get really kind of overwhelmed because we'll say, okay, I'm going to start social media. I'm going to start posting on Instagram. And then we're working daily to do it. It takes actually a lot of time when you do it that way. You know, when you don't know what you're going to post, you don't know who you're posting to, you don't know what post is coming next or what came before it. When we're working this way, it could exhaust us, you know, because we actually have lives other than social media, right? You have a job, you have family, you have pets, dogs, whatever, you got things to do. You are not a social media market manager too, right? Like, that's not another job we want to take on. So just approaching it with a little bit of organization, you know, this month I'm going to be talking about just mindfulness 101. And since I'm doing 3 posts a week, I need 12 posts. And so on a whatever day that you choose, on a Monday, we call it batch. We're going to batch these 12 posts in one sitting. 12 quotes, 6 quotes, 6 images. Bye, Eric. Whatever it is, we're going to batch it and kind of create it all at one time. And so we're not posting every day. In session 2, we talk about, actually, did we get there? I'm not sure. I don't know if we did. We might need to do 3. In Canva, which you guys all should use if you're using social media or anything, because it's so user friendly and there's templates and you could really kind of make whatever your own. There's an option to auto post from Canva. There's a calendar on Canva. You could create all your content in Canva, throw it in the calendar. You put your Instagram information in there and it will auto post it for you. So you don't need to be like, what am I going to be doing every single day? It's already set for the month or whatever it is. And then you just go on there. It's 9 o'clock. My post went up at 2 minutes ago. Let me go to my post, and, share it to my stories, which you should do every time, and then work my hashtags, right? Just liking things on other people's, commenting things, find people to collaborate on there with. It doesn't have to be very difficult at all. So next session, we talk about Canva. I hope that if you guys didn't watch it, it was sent to you. I think that, I'm not really sure, I'd have to go back. But I think that I'm going to talk to Stacy about doing a third one about like making reels, because I think that's probably the most like confusing kind of like, oh, like this is like too a little bit nuts, but it's actually could be really simple, and we could maybe like in that session we could like together make one, different types of reels together, so you guys could just see what that's like. And I think that's pretty much it for today. Any questions? No questions? Okay, cool. I recorded this. I'm gonna send it to Stacy. You'll have it. If you have any questions, feel free to email me. I'm here. I'm on social. Aiko means love. Message me if you guys want to do a live together or like practice on there together, or you need some help on the platform. You want me to share something of yours, tag me, like we'll get this thing like going together. So I'll talk to Stacy and get that session 3 up so we could start working on making reels together, and maybe even like getting some sessions, some accountability sessions, like once a month where we're like creating this content, putting it in Canva and like doing it all together. So we're like doing it. Yes, you're welcome. All right. Nice to see you all. And tell everybody at TMF I said hello if you're still there. Bye-bye.